But as I was saying, it is May now, so we are having our rose season. So here's some knockout roses that come up. I planted these when we first moved in, so these are over 10 years old, and they never disappoint. They're always loaded with blooms, and they'll bloom right through till November when we get our first freeze, late October, early November. So, but I love them. And then of course they're knockout roses, so the winds, once they're done blooming, the petals just fall off and they just make new buds and stuff like that. So we really enjoy them. And I gotta give them, I think, some iron tone, because I noticed that you can see how they're getting the light leaves like that. So I don't know if anyone follows Laura from Garden Answer on YouTube, but I learn a lot from her because she is in high desert. She has alkaline soil like we do here in New Mexico. Same type of weather, lots of winds, lots of heat. So, and I noticed when her plants start doing that, they need some iron. So I'm gonna have to give them some iron tone. I use the Espoma fertilizers and stuff. So, but let's take a walk over here. I don't want to go too far. I'm on the Wi-Fi, so I don't want to drop you guys. But I have some hollies here. These are male and female in the pot. The male is in the back. I have one over yonder there as well. And the female's in the front. And they're getting ready to bloom. They're putting out their little bloom buds. You can see those little buds right there. They're gonna open up and have little white flowers. And the male will have like 4 little, I don't know if they call them stamens, the little pointy things that stick up. And then the female, she's got like a little button. She's with that little green button will turn into a berry. So, and if we look here, oh, actually I can show you. Let's see. Let me get my camera down there. So you can see here, this is a male because it's got the 4 little pointy things on there. So this is a male holly, and then the female, she must not be open yet. So there's male and female. But I usually help them along. I'll take like a male and I just dot them on the female, and then the berry will start. And actually there's a female. You can see she's got a little berry there. So she just needs to be pollinated. And I would take one of these males. Let me grab one. And just kind of rub that on there. And then next thing you know, that little green berry will start getting bigger. And they'll start growing kind of like here. You can see these got pollinated. They're starting to grow. So, yep. Nature's fun. Yeah, let's come over here. So I have like little garden rooms. In here, I usually grow morning glories up this lattice. I have nasturtiums usually at the bottom. And you can see some morning glories are starting to come in, reseeded from last year. I got a big hollyhock there and some honeysuckle. And then I have some pampas grass. But I like catmint because that grows really well and attracts the pollinators. And then this is honeysuckle here, and it's going to be full of blooms soon. The hummingbirds have already come back. You can see some blooms there, and that smells really nice. So the hummingbirds have come back, and they go right for that. I really love that. And then this is a hot spot here full of bird activity. I set the camera out, I think it was on Sunday, and that's what it was Sunday. And I put the camera out and we had quail and sparrows and robins and doves and all kinds of stuff. Little birdies enjoying this little bird bath. They get their drink and take a dip. So there's my other roses there in the corner, and I have catmint that's blooming. So, and again, we are in New Mexico, Rio Rancho. We face east, the Sandia Mountain Range, for those of you who have joined. And this is my backyard view. Isn't it beautiful? Looking south towards Albuquerque. And it's just wonderful living here. I love the evenings. It cools right off, and I come out and water, and it's just really nice. And that's my little greenhouse down there. My husband and I put that together last year. It was a kit from Charlie's Greenhouse and Garden up in Washington. You can find their website. That's a 10 by 12. It was a Northern Heritage. Now, I don't know if they carry that kind anymore, but they carry something similar now. And we got it with the pony walls. It's on a cement footer and bolted down with J-bolts because our winds here are really strong. Like this spring, we've had like up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts and things like that. So I need something that's going to hold. I mean, there's these cute little metal greenhouses that I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Mine would be in Santa Fe, you know, it'd be blown away. But so anyway, we had to kind of go with that style, which I think is cute for out here, and then bolt it down. But if you go to my TikTok page, you can see what I have in there. I did all kinds of pictures and videos throughout the winter. Everything did wonderful in there, just full of geraniums and petunias and my purple fountain grass and some boxwood topiaries and all kinds of things. Oh, my bougainvilleas are blooming. So they're just really nice. And then this patio, let me talk about our patio. My husband and I put this in. My husband and I are do-it-ourselfers. And we put this in the fall of 2014, early 15. It was just all dirt here and goat heads and tumbleweeds. And we cleared out the whole lot and laid every patio paver you see here. Now it is one big paver. So it's one, let me put my foot out if you can see. It's like one big square. See that? Don't mind the hole in my toe. Into my garden shoes. So it's one big square, and they're about like 40 pounds a piece. They're very heavy. And so my husband and I'd start on one side, which I would start over here, and he would start on the other side, and we'd meet in the middle, and we just would do row after row. Every weekend we'd come out and do a couple rows and lay this patio. And so, and then we also built the planters. We got the instructions or the details for them from Home Depot and used their blocks for the fire pit and the planters and the garden benches there. And these towers didn't have this top here. It didn't have that. And I said, well, I would like to plant something. It just was like a flat surface, just like decorative. And so we added a few more little bricks there and made little planters. So what I do is I remove the rocks. I'm going to set my camera down again. I remove the rocks, and then you can see this soil goes all the way down. And then I'll plant vincas in there. So if you go to my pictures on my TikTok gallery, you'll see these planted up, and they're beautiful. They're full of color. The vincas, they last all season until frost. And I switch out the colors every year, which is nice because vincas come in reds and pinks and whites. And so I switch out the colors and make it different every year. So, but yeah, we put this in together, built the shed, greenhouse, and then like I said, our latest project is screening in our Vago garden. We have one of those raised Vago beds, and we are screening it in because I had put netting over it the first year, that netting you see with hoops, and I held it down with rocks, and I had to contort myself to get under the netting to water, and bugs were still getting in, and the moths were laying eggs, and I was getting worms eating my lettuce and my broccoli. So I said, okay, I'm going to try stitching Velcro to the netting and then putting that band of black Velcro strip around. That was about 2 years ago. First year it worked well. Second year, you know how Velcro works. It's just finally, it just doesn't become sticky anymore. So again, winds would come, blow the netting, bugs would get in. And again, I'm having to contort my body down to try to get under the netting to put my wand into water. So I said to my husband this year, I said, I want for Mother's Day, this screened out. I want a little screen room. So I started working on this a couple weeks ago. I have some time-lapse video. Once it's completed, I'm going to put it together and I'll post it so you guys can see the process. But we finally got the structure up. And then we put those mid boards in, the ones that aren't painted, over the weekend. And I haven't been able to paint because it's been raining. So I'll get those painted hopefully this week. And then I can put my netting on and start planting my veggies. And I do grow everything in there. I grow zucchini, broccoli, lettuce, kale, tomatoes, basil, peas, carrots, chives, cilantro, parsley. I grow everything. You can grow everything in one of those. There's a lot of space, so I absolutely love it. And it's so close to my back door, so I just come out, grab my, my little basket and fill it up full of stuff, bring it in, and have fresh lettuce and greens and veggies all summer long. So I absolutely love it. So, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to jump on and say good evening and do a little tour of the garden tonight. And you can see some of the little Johnny jump ups. Aren't they cute? In that little basket, they're loving this cool weather and rain that we had. And again, I'll do one more plug. We'll come over here by the peach irises for you that are joining. My wisteria and peach irises. The wisteria bloomed a little bit. We had some snow earlier this month that kind of took out the blooms that weren't fully developed. And then we had strong winds and it just dried out the blooms, you can see there. But my peach irises are open and I want to show you all that haven't seen my, let me put my camera down real quick. My canvas print. This is from last year when they were blooming in sync. We had a nice spring, no cold snap, no winds, so they bloomed together and were absolutely stunning. And this is a canvas print I have on my website, wildflowerartbycarrie.com. There's my little logo there. And so I am having a Mother's Day sale right now, but the Mother's Day sale is only for my framed artwork, shadow boxes, pendants, and painted slate. So my canvas prints aren't included in the sale, but my other items are. Just the ones that actually have the dried and pressed flowers. And just an FYI, all those dried and pressed flowers are grown in my garden. I did harvest and press them or dried them in silica gel. So everything that you're buying, if you buy from me, will be directly from my garden, made in the USA. But I kind of wanted to show you my canvas print so you can see what it looks like and that these are real and that these are my peach irises. So I just want to say hi. Okay. But I appreciate you all joining me today and this evening, and I hope you have a lovely evening in your neck of the woods, wherever you are. And I plan on doing more live garden tours as the season goes on, and be able to show you the progress of everything coming in and blooming. And I plan on doing some planting here right after Mother's Day. It's usually what I wait to do to plant, my zinnias and my sunflowers and vincas and my warm weather annuals. Because so far this spring we've had really nice weather, and then we've just been having these big cold fronts coming down, and so you get tricked. Well, I don't get tricked anymore. I've had enough of losing stuff, but You know, March we had 80-degree weather. You know, people were, it makes you want to plant, but it's New Mexico and we get these fronts, you know, where it just gets, you know, a couple weeks ago we had snow. I posted a little video like 2 Saturdays ago of the snow falling, you know, and we had frozen temperatures and stuff, freezing temperatures. So I always wait until after Mother's Day to do any planting of my summary type annuals, because it's just, you take a risk, you know, all that work. But I will bring you along for the tour each week or so as new things crop up and start blooming, and share that with you all. So again, I'm having a Mother's Day sale. You can get 15% off my framed artwork, shadow boxes, pendants, and painted slate pieces. And you can go to wildflowerartbycarrie.com. And if you want to buy Mom something that's a beautiful little handmade gift made here in the US from my garden, it'd be very much appreciated, and I know she would enjoy it. So anyway, you all take care, and we'll talk soon. And bye for now.